Thank you so much, Anand Bihari Prabhu. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuniravanachari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuniravanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Radha Muralidhara, Radha Muralidhara, Radha Muralidhara, Radha Muralidhara, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Shri Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatirtamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today, we are reading from Canto 10, the Samam and Bonam, Chapter 42, Breaking of the Sacrificial Bow, text 32 to 38. So we'll be reading the translations. Translations by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada disciples ki jai. Translation, text 32. When the night had finally passed and the sun rose up again from the water, Kamsa set about arranging for the grand Wrestling festival. Text 33.
The grand what festival?
Wrestling festival? Wrestling? Wrestling.
Yeah. Wrestling.
Yeah. Text 33. The king's men performed the ritual worship of the wrestling arena, sounded their drums and other instruments, and decorated the viewing galleries with garlands, flags, ribbons, and arches. Text 34. Translation. The city dwellers and residents of the outlying districts, led by Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, came and sat down comfortably in the galleries. The royal guests received special seats. Text 35. Surrounded by his ministers, Kamsa took his seat on the imperial dais. But even as he sat amidst his various provincial rulers, his heart trembled. While the musical text 36, while the musical instruments loudly played in the rhythmic meters appropriate for wrestling matches, the lavishly ornamented wrestlers proudly entered the arena with their coaches and sat down. Text 37. Enthused by the pleasing music, Chanura, Mushtika, Kuta, Shala, Toshala sat down on the wrestling mat. Text 38. Translation. Nanda Maharaj and other cowherds, summoned by the king of the Bhojas, presented him with their offerings and then took their seats in one of the galleries. Purport. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, the word Samahutaha indicates that King Kamsa respectfully called the leaders of Braja forward so that they could make their offerings to the central government. According to the Acharya, Kamsa assured Nanda as follows: My dear king of Vraja, you are the most important of my village rulers. Yet, even though you have come to Mathura from your cowherd village, you have not come to visit me? Is that because you are frightened? Don't think that your two sons are bad because they broke the bow. I invited them here because I heard they were extremely powerful, and I have arranged this wrestling match as a test of their strength. So please come forward without hesitation. Don't be afraid. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further states that Nanda Maharaj noticed his two sons were not present. Apparently, out of disrespect for King Kamsa's order, they had taken the morning off and gone elsewhere. Thus, Kamsa delegated some cowherd men to go look for them and advise them to behave properly and come back to the wrestling arena. The Acharya also states that the reason Nanda and other cowherdmen sat in the galleries was that they could not find any sitting places on the royal dais. Thus ends the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 42nd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Breaking of Sacrificial Vow. Recite some prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam Karoti Vachal Kangam Bhangai Kripatam Kangam Shri Gurun Dinatha Shri Chaitanya Ishwar Paramata. Thank you all for joining today morning for hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We seek the blessings of the entire Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, and all the devotees, Adipurush Prabhu, and then other devotees who are on the call, so that we can discuss something beneficial for everybody. So here we have got today some series of verses, 7-8 verses. So the Kamsa has invited Krishna and Balram to Mathura. So there's a big festival, and there's a sacrifice. The sacrificial bow is broken. So Kamsa is feeling already the heat. And now the final stage is set. So there's a wrestling match which is supposed to happen, and then Kamsa, that is one of his last options before he directly entering into the scene. So everything is set, and now so they are describing how each and everything is very personal in the Vedic culture. Even the wrestling arena, so people are worshipping it, so because it's any place of activity, so it gives us some karma and some reaction. So that can be positive, that can be degrading, either ways. So it is very important to respect the place of action. And then even just as simply as a sport or wrestling, so people were respecting it, giving respect, and they were worshipping. So even, so whatever it is, either victory or defeat, let our consciousness be pure, or let it be elevating. So I don't know how much pure it is, because they are trying to fight with Lord himself. But here they are trying to worship the place of wrestling arena. It's not just out of sentimental, it's like respecting the place of action, or the respecting the place of karma. So having said that, so they said how everybody is accompanied by their coaches, and the coaches are like very proud, and they want to see their students perform very nicely, and then so they're all ready, all set. The main person, the villain Kamsa, he's feeling so much trembling in the heart. That's what the exact word was used. So today we will see a little bit about this. It's in the text 35. Kamsa parivruto matyai Rajamancha Upavishat. So Kamsa is surrounded by his own kinsmen, Amatya, so his ministers, his own people. Kamsa is surrounded by them. Mandaleshwara Madhyasto. So he's like, the secondary people, Mandaleshwaras. Kamsa is the big central government, and then in the provincial government, small governments are there. So the respective in charges are there. And so he's in between there. So he feels he's very much well protected. But still, Hridayena, within his heart, Viduyata, trembling. So this is one, so he's surrounded by so many people, but still he's feeling that insecurity. So we should understand what is this root cause for insecurity. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Canto 2, it's 214. It's very easy to remember. 2, half of it is 1, and 2 times 2 is 4. So 214, there's a very nice verse. Dehapatya kalatradishu atmasanyeshu asatsvapi tesham pramatto nidhanam pasyan api na pasyati. So here what is happening? Let me share my screen. Yeah. So we can see here, the translation is, persons devoid of Atma Tattva, or self-knowledge, knowledge of self, do not inquire into problems of life, being too attached to fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. So the people who don't have the sufficient knowledge of soul, so they think, okay, my family is going to protect me, my children, my wife, my wealth. So these all things are going to protect me. So in another shloka it comes like Adau Griha Kshetra Sutaptavitte Janasya Mohoyam Aham Mameti. So we think this is my inner circle, this is my bigger circle, so these people are going to protect me. So, but are they, can they really protect? So what they are saying is Atma Sainyeshu. Sainya means army. Oh, these are my army, my own armies, Atma Sainya. So my armies will protect me. When there is a war, my armies will protect me. But, so can they protect? No. They are saying is asatsu, fallible. So they are not the permanent protection. So immediately this comes whenever there's a description. So when two things are coming just side by side, sometimes, most of the times, they belong to one class. So just like we say, okay, what foods you like? We say, okay, pastas, pizzas, and that. So this is like it's one. Or else we say, oh, idli, samosa, dosa, vada. So these are some Eastern, Southeast Asian food, and then so when we say some words together, so they fall in one particular class. So similarly here they are saying Atma Sainyeshu Asatsu. So what are the Atma Sainya? So our own armies. So they are fallible. Asatsu. They are fallible. So now the thing is, this sort of feeling. So what is happening here in this shloka? They are saying that when people are devoid of this Atma Tattva, pasyan api na pasyati. They keep seeing things around, but they don't see. What they mean by they don't see? They don't see the actual truth that is being conveyed by this, whatever is the things happening around. So it is conveying some truth, but people cannot see. Just like Kamsa. So Kamsa saw, 3 days ago, Jagannath Gopal Prabhu was giving the class. Kamsa heard the Akashvani, the message that, see, the 8th son is going to kill you. So he had minimum 8 years to reform himself. But Kamsa, instead of reforming himself, he was busy in hatching plans to destroy Krishna and then the future. So he didn't utilize his time properly, or else he could have saved. Pasyannapi na pasyati. He's seeing from that time onwards, each and every of his plan is getting destroyed. So okay, he killed the 7 babies, but the 8th son escaped. He should have understood the 8th son. Okay, he's out of my control. He should have at least surrendered that by that time. Pasyannapi na pasyati. So he's seeing, but he is not able to understand the truth. And then he's sending almost every day. Krishna is now close to 8 years old. So basically, from the time when he heard the message, heavenly message, until the time Krishna entered Mathura, finally. So he has got almost 16 years. And then so many of his endeavors are getting futile, are becoming futile, but he's not learning anything, So that is what pasyannapi apasyati. He's just seeing, but he's not able to understand the truth. And he's hatching plans again and again. This is because apasyatam attva. So people, so they don't understand. And if people are not based on the knowledge of self, so they will not be able to understand the real truth happening around us. How he could have understood, So, okay, what would have been the hope for Kamsa? So Kamsa was never in the good association. All the good people around Kamsa, he just drove them away. He imprisoned them, Ugrasena and everybody. And then Nanda Maharaj was, disrespected. And then Vasudev, who is his friend, he imprisoned him. So all the good advice, he kept him aside, kept them very far. And then let's see who whom he is, keeping close by the demons. Every day he was sending one demon to Vrindavan, go fetch Krishna, kill him. So all these demons are not like simple, frontline people. They are big people. They are friends of Kamsa. That's why they are ready to, fight a battle. Like the demons see, every day someone is getting killed, but still, new person is coming to volunteer. That means Kamsa has a very good network. People are coming and the demons are coming and they are dying, but still new demons are volunteering. So Kamsa had a very good network, and then so Kamsa has all these friends. And then let's see what Kamsa is thinking about his friends. So it is a very nice verse, very funny verse. 10:36:36. So this is a very nice verse. Let me read that. So he's saying, Kamsa is telling, Jarasandho mama guru, divido dayita sakha, shabaro narako bano mayaiva kruta sauhruda. Tairaham surapikshan hatva bhokshe mahim rupan. So what Kamsa is telling? My elder relative Jarasandha, he is also another envious person of Krishna. So my elder relative Jarasandha and my dear friend Dvivida. So Dvivida is also another demon whom Balram will kill in the future chapters. So he's telling that my elder relative Jarasandha and my dear friend Dvivida are solid well-wishers of mine. So this is how Kamsa is in the association of the so-called. So these are the people. They are well-wishers. If demons are well-wishers, then what is the hope? Of course, they can be well-wishers, but we should have a proper perspective. So, and Sambara, Naraka, and Bana. So Naraka is another demon which Krishna will kill, far later. So I will use them all to kill off those kings who are allied with the demigods, and I will rule the earth. So this is the unfortunate situation of Kamsa. So Kamsa is having such a bad company. That's why he is not able to understand, what is the truth or the knowledge of the self. That's why he could not surrender to Krishna. And because of this, lack of surrender to Krishna, or at least lack of self-knowledge, so he is getting fearful. So that is the verse. One of the verses. So he's getting trembled. Hridayena viduyata. So in text 35. So even though he's surrounded by his army, great provincial rulers, his heart is trembling. And then this sort of insecurity we see in many of the many personalities. Like it's not just the namesake demons. Even Indra also many times feels insecure. If suppose somebody is doing a great penance, Indra feels that, oh, what will happen? This person is going to take my position, and then he feels insecure, and then he commits mistakes, and then he gets curses, and then he remorses, and then again, so this is all because one should be in the
Krishna continue to bless you with pure devotion, sir.
So one should be in the company of good people, and then one should not engage too much into sense gratification, which Indra often does. So we need so this feeling of insecurity arises when one is far from the knowledge of self, and then self's connection with the divine or Krishna. And then we see that how association is very important, and Kamsa is not having that association. So that is why he is always feeling the trembling of the heart. So now the next thing is, in the purport, we see that Nanda Maharaj is following the rules, etiquettes. He knows Kamsa is a wicked person, and then he's hatching a plot and then everything. But still, Nanda Maharaj came, and then he was offering gifts, to Kamsa. He's following the rules, because he's representing the village, of Vrindavan. So as a village head, he is following his dharma. And Kamsa is supposed to be, the ruler, he's supposed to respect. And then actually, Nanda Maharaj is considered, most important of my village rulers. So in the purport it comes, my dear king of Raja, you're the most important of village rulers. So Kamsa calls and says, oh Kamsa, Nanda, you're so important for me. But you see the hypocrisy. He says, you're so important for me, but he did not invite, Nanda to sit near him. He did not get the place on the royal dais. So it is mentioned here that Nanda Maharaj, along with other people, so they are supposed to sit in some, gallery, because they could not find seats in the royal dais. So this is one sort of hypocrisy from Kamsa. He says something, but he intends something else. And he has so much animosity towards Krishna and Balram. So his plan is to kill them. But he's telling to Nanda Maharaj, oh, don't think your children are bad because, they broke the bow. They are not at all bad. And then all those things. So he's saying something, but, he's meaning something else. He's planning something else. So that is what the nature of Kamsa. And then, so one interesting thing here we can see. So Lord made Kamsa wait, and Kamsa felt very unhappy. So Balram and Krishna are supposed to be there at that time, and they are seen nowhere. So Kamsa was really getting annoyed, and then he sent some guards and then everybody. So this is what, so Lord is not accountable to, the people, especially if you don't have, positive feelings. Lord hardly cares. So this is what people try to control Lord artificially. Okay, I am the king. Lord, you are supposed to be here. Or not even Lord. Hey, you are supposed to be here because I am the ruling person. And Lord doesn't care. But at the same time, we see certain pastimes where Lord is kept waiting by his devotees. Lord wants to, take a step forward, but wait. So let's see how Lord is kept on the hold. So there is one there is one place in Maharashtra in Bharat. So it's Pandharpur. So there this Lord Vitthal is there. Lord Krishna, he's called as Vitthal. So why he is called as Vitthal is like, so there's one very great devotee, Pandari. So he's like, he's a very great devotee of the Lord. He's self-realized and in everything. And then he's serving his parents. And then, so his parents are about to take rest, and then he's serving his parents. They're in a small hut. And so he's serving his parents, and they're about to take rest. And then outside the knock comes. So he has to open the door, but his parents are about to take rest, so he didn't want to disturb. So he's massaging their feet, so let them take rest. So he's sitting and then he's talking. Hey, somebody is knocking the door. Sorry, sir, I'm a little bit busy. I'm not able to open the door. So may I know who are you? And then the knock says, outside owners, hey, I'm Krishna, the God whom you are worshipping. I'm outside the door. Can you please open? I said, oh, so nice of you coming all the way. It's the perfection of my life. But sir, Krishna, I'm a little bit busy. I'm assisting my parents. So of course his parents are very great devotees. So please. So Krishna is amazed. Okay, you are serving my devotees. And then Krishna is in so much love with this Pandari. So he says, okay, I'm ready to wait. But Pandari felt, okay, you're coming as a guest. At least I should give you some respect meanwhile. So he sits like that only, but he takes a brick nearby, and then he throws at the door. And then he says, please consider this as your asan. Please consider this as a seat. Don't think that I'm disrespecting you. Take this as a seat, and then I'll come to you shortly. And then Lord Krishna climbs on that brick, and then he keeps like this, his both hands on his hips, because a person is waiting, right? So a person, so he's waiting like this, of course, with a smile. So he stands on that brick, and then he's I'm not able to, yeah, maybe. So he just keeps it like this, and then so that's how exactly the deity is, Vitthal Rukmini. So in Pandharpur, so that's how still the deity is. So Lord is waiting. I'm ready to wait. I'm ready to wait. You please do your business. I'm for you. And you see, Lord is not coming to Kamsa. Kamsa, who cares for you? You give a time, and then it's not that I will come. So Kamsa is. So there are a couple of more pastimes where just quickly conclude, because Srila Sanatan Goswami, so he's one of the 6 Goswamis, the great teachers in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So he was like a very wealthy person, but he renounced everything, and then he took shelter of Vrindavan, and then he's performing his simple bhakti, and then he's having the deities Radha, Madan Mohan, and then nothing. He's living a very simple life under a tree, and he's surviving by doing some begging every day, and then he's intensely writing scriptures, and then he's doing his japa chanting. And then the deities, where to keep the deities? So he made just a bag, from his cloth, and then he tied it to a branch, and then the deities were resting inside that bag, of cloth. And then he is begging some food from the Vrindavan, Vrajavasis, and then whatever he is getting, he's just offering that. And often, many of the days, he used to get some dry chapatis or dry bread. So once Madan Mohan said, Sanatan, so you're just offering me dry chapati. At least keep some salt in that. It's too dry. I'm not able to, relish it. So Sanatan said, my dear Lord, what to do? I'm a poor person. I don't have any money. I'm busy doing your own service. I'm writing scriptures. I'm doing japa. I don't have time for all this. Now today you'll ask salt. And then if I give you salt, tomorrow you'll ask something else. So I can't keep attending all those requests. So please hold on, and then we will see what to be done. And then Madan Mohan said, okay, I can wait. I can wait. So this is how, devotee of the Lord can keep Lord waiting. Okay, wait. And then, of course, Lord's intervention, a big wealthy person comes and donates, and then there's a big mansion. And then still Sanatan Goswami lives outside, but Lord is taken care nicely. So that's the continuation of that pastime. And the final pastime, so we are in this auspicious month of Damodar, So Lord wants to run hither, thither. Lord wants to do so many mischievous things. But Mother Yashoda is so much angry. No, I need to teach a lesson to my Krishna. So I will make him hold. I will hold him. It's not possible. So the entire universe is in Lord. So how can you contain the Lord? How can you stop the Lord? But she could do that. He said, Yashoda viyolu khalatavamanam Stitagrai. I'm not sure whether I got it, but it said Stitagraiva Damodaram Bhakti Baddham. So Damodara, Krishna, Stitagraiva. So he's standing, Bhakti Baddham. So he's bound by the ropes of devotion. So Mother Yashoda, so even though Krishna is doing so much mischief, so Mother Yashoda could bind, Krishna with her sincere desire. So Krishna can be controlled with love, not with orders, just like Kamsa was trying to do. So we should understand. And So Atma Tattva, this knowledge of self is just a subset. If you have devotion, if you have proper attitude towards bhakti, so all this, knowledge of self and knowledge of the material world, everything will follow, just like, a fraction of a second. So the most important thing is to develop that, positive feelings towards the Lord. That is bhakti. So let's summarize today what we have seen. So we saw how the wrestling match is about to start. So people are very personal. Even the place of action, they are worshipping. Even the wrestling arena, so they are worshipping their teachers. And the teachers are ready to encourage their students. So it's a very personal environment throughout the Vedic culture. And then even in the midst of so much of the personalized environment, and if our mood is not good, so we feel trembled. That's the situation of Kamsa. So he was horrified, and then he was always insecure. And then we saw 2:14 Srimad Bhagavatam, how pasyanapi na pasyati. He's seeing bad omens time and again, and he's seeing Krishna as God, but he's not ready to believe it. He's not ready to accept it. He's seeing but not seeing the truth. Pasyanapi na pasyati. So he's so adamant. And then he has got all ill advisors, bad company. Because of that, he's not able to see the truth. So it's very important that we should have a good sangha or darshana, the eyes. So the scriptures are called darshana. So they'll help us to see the truth, actual truth. So after that, we saw, how he was not respecting Nanda Maharaj properly. So though openly he's telling, oh, please come, and then everything, he didn't give him a proper seat. And then he's trying to make fun of Krishna. And then finally, so he comes is thinking Krishna is making him wait, but in actuality, you cannot control Krishna by rules of the land. So you can only control Krishna by bhakti. So we saw in the cases of Vitthal, the Lord Vitthal, and then Sanatan Goswami, and then Yashoda Mata binding Lord Krishna. So it's 7:51. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. Any comments? Any disagreements? Yeah. So Adi Purusham.
Hare Krishna. So you mentioned a few times about the worship of the wrestling arena. Bhagavatam says that this literature is meant to bring about a revolution in the lives of misdirected civilization. So the civilization is going, there's activity, but it's misdirected. They're not worshiping Krishna, but they're worshiping a wrestling arena. I know in Japan, when they have the baseball field, the baseball players, they never spit on the baseball field because it's respectable. So respect is there, worship is there, but it's misdirected. And scripture is precisely helping us to turn around. We're reading every day the offenses to the holy name. And one of the eighth offense, is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna to be one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas for fruit of action, karma kanda, right? So we're chanting Hare Krishna, but why are we chanting Hare Krishna? Is there some material benefit? That's a misdirected motivation. So the Bhagavatam is correcting us like that. And the the tendency is to worship, so that's going on. But to who and why? What do we want? What do we expect to gain? What's the result of that activity? So Srila Prabhupada is explaining to us the Bhagavatam in the very second verse. Dharma projita kaitava, right? It says this Bhagavatam is kicking out cheating religion. And it's funny to hear cheating religion. Wait a minute. How can religion be cheating? In other words, it's ritualistic activity under the guise of religious ceremony, but the motivation is not for the pleasure of Krishna, but for some kind of gain. And these things are there. What's that verse in Bhagavad Gita? Nidbhagavad Nityasattvasto Niryoga Shema Atmavan, right? It says the three modes of interior nature. The Vedas mainly deal with the three modes of interior nature. And then Krishna says to Arjuna, rise above these modes, Arjuna. Be transcendental to all of them. Don't engage in this ritualistic activity in the name of religion. Dharma projitikaitva. This is kicked out. It's a very interesting distinction because many people are engaged in religious activities. I don't know if you've seen, of course, we were in Malaysia, in Penang, and they have the Thaipusam. You know that? Right? It's a parade, and it goes on all day. There's so many people in the parade that it takes 9, 10, 12 hours for them. And they're performing a religious ceremony. And the people, you were making the gesture, they're sticking a spear through their tongue or through one cheek and out the other cheek, or they're hanging with hooks, pots of water or milk on their chest or on their back, or they're putting hooks in their back and they're pulling a chariot with this rope attached to the hooks on their back, and they're performing ritualistic activities, religious activities to the son of Shiva. Who?
Kartikeya. Murugan.
Kartikeya. Yeah. So there's a lot of that. And we are in the realm of pure devotional service. At least that's what Srila Prabhupada is requesting. And Uta Bhavana asked Srila Prabhupada, do we have to specifically request pure devotional service? And Prabhupada said, yes, that's what I'm recommend. That's what the Vedas recommend. These other things are there to get us into the activity of worship, ritual, ceremony. But then gradually we learn that the highest result and the best way to direct our worship is to worship Krishna. So we have to be a little careful as devotees that we don't slip into karma kanda activity. Ritualist activity is meant for my benefit. There's no love in that. It's a selfish. It may be elaborate. It may be in the name of religion. It may be a stepping stone, the highest level of pure devotional service. But devotees are cautioned, very strenuously cautioned, don't do this. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, second verse of the Bhagavatam, the offenses in the chanting of the holy name. Do not consider this to be one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas for fruit of gain, karma kanda. Anyway, so these people are worshiping the wrestling arena. In one sense, it's stupid. It's ridiculous, right? But there's another way of worship, another motivation for worship, and there's the highest level. So that's where we're going. Let's not forget where we're going. And some people, when they hear that, they don't want to hear that there's something higher. I mean, they may not be on that level. Some people say, don't preach this, give up karma kanda, because some people like it, and they won't want it. They'll be offended if you say, worship Krishna. They'll be offended if they say, don't worship for the sake of fruit of gain. But that's what Prabhupada gave us, so that's what we're trying to repeat and present. They may like it, they may not like it, and we don't say it arrogantly or holier than thou or with any kind of idea that we're looking down on anybody, which this is simple truth. At least in the Bhagavatam class, let's hear the truth. Let's repeat what we've heard from our spiritual master. So maybe you can comment on that comment. Maybe it's appropriate. Maybe not. I don't know. As far as I know.
Bhima Prabhu is addressed.
No comment from you?
No.
Haribol?
Bhima. Yeah. Bhima Prabhu. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so I've got 1 minute. Then all I can say is it's not all that complicated. Take it from someone who's been at the bottom and somehow, due to the association of others, has found oneself somewhat engaged in devotional service on some level, and that it always increases, and Krishna always gives us a choice to increase it more. So whether it be in the wrestling arena, okay, everyone there saw Krishna differently. The gopis saw him as a lover. The parents saw them as a wonderful young man. Kamsa saw him as death. Mustika and Charna saw him as a most formidable opponent. It's all so simple. Just find yourself something to do. That's it. You don't have to worry about whether it's ritualistic or whether it's kamakanda, and you got to start turning pages to find out where you're at. Just get busy. Get busy, hang out with the devotees, and then Krishna will reveal to you more stuff to do, and more responsibility. Keep giving you chances, and you'll keep climbing that ladder. And to second guess ourselves whether what we're doing is right or not, that's that hesitation. Don't hesitate. Just get busy. Conch is going to blow now, so just like coming out on the battlefield. So all glories. Wonderful lecture. It's sort of like an audio book listening to you. It's one shastric reference after another, so we can be assured that what you are saying is 100% right on. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank
Jeff
you.
Rekler Prabhu. Jeff Rekler Prabhu, you're blocking Krishna, for goodness sake. Yeah. Krishna should be in the center. Go ahead.
I had a question. In the text, Kamsa comes in and sits in the imperial dais, surrounded by ministers. He's the one that set the whole thing up and demanded, right? So he says, have this big thing and make me the center of it. But then at the end of the verses that you read, the cowherd men and Nanda Maharaj show up, and they're invited, yet they sit in the gallery and they bring gifts.
So they're just invited to give the gifts, and then they go back again into the gallery. Only for the gifts purpose, he asked them, come.
But the humility that they show versus the arrogance that Kamsa shows is very clear in the distinction.
That's true. Right? That's true. Neither Nanda Maharaj wanted to associate with Kamsa. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Krishna Daya Prabhu. Wonderful class. And you're a wonderful devotee. Thank you. Thank you for being you. It's darshan time. Please turn on your cameras if you can. Bring your pets. Let them be seen by Krishna Bhakti Devi. Yes, thank you. We're all stained by Bhakti Devi and Bhakta Bentley. Hemangi, Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Any other Bhakti beauties? Narayani, there you go, Narayani. Good to see you. Hare Krishna. More Bhakti beauties. Amrita Kishori Didi, Tina, and Narayani. Check it out. Prabhuji's, Bruce Prabhu. It's okay. Sundaranandaji, come on, let's do it. We need more Prabhuji's. We know you're dressed. Josh, sure. Krishna Prabhu, we love you. Thank you. Okay, this is it, dear devotees. This was the class. Thank you very much for participating. Florian, how was it? What's your experience? Did you have fun?
Wonderful. I'm glad that you invited me. Thank you.
Nice, nice. Thank you.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha, how are you, Nisha?
Very well, thank you. That was such a great session. Thank you so much. This is my second Bhagavatam class.
Nisha, yeah. Nisha, thank you so much for being part of this group. This is your
Haribol.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, dear devotees, let's go out in the world. Let's kick out the Kaitava Dharma, the cheating religion, but let's do it with love and with a substitute of something real that we can give to people. The more we have to give to people, the more Kaitava Dharma we can kick. We can't just go out there kicking. We have to be loving, caring, and we have to give something instead. Right, Bhima Prabhu, is that okay? Was that accurate? You're the second senior devotee after Krishna Daya.
I am forever young.
Forever what?
Yes, I'm forever young.
Forever young, of course. Yeah. Forever young.
Hare Krishna. The big thing, I feel like we have to understand Krishna's having a good time, that he's having a good time, and worrying about what we're doing is not how to advance. If you're happy, you're doing the right thing. If you're starting to feel a little bit miserable, a little bit strange about what you're up to, after all, devotees are introspective souls. All you have to do is contemplate what you're up to. If it's not making you happy, you can guarantee it, you're not following what makes Krishna happy. If you make Krishna happy, then you'll be happy. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's a very profound point, Bhima Prabhu. Very profound. Srila Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. That's a duty. Florian, you're unmuted.
I just want to say Hare Krishna to everyone.
Hare Krishna, Florian. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you, dear devotees. Have a wonderful day. Come again tomorrow. Bruce, get dressed. And be happy. Hare Krishna.